Toyota is the next manufacturer to pull out of Russia, and things could get worse for the Russian automobile industry. Over automotive news, Toyota is closing its Russian plant, might sell it. There's talks of Mazda doing the same thing. We'll talk about that today. We have so much news to cover. I'm a little bit behind. And the reason is been prepping for Hurricane Ian, which is supposed to arrive later today here in Southwest Florida. So trying to get everything done ahead of schedule as best as possible. The sun even isn't over the horizon yet. All right, let's go. Toyota is closing its Russian plant, might sell it. This is in St. Petersburg. They make the Camry and the RAV4 there, and there has not been a vehicle produced there since March. Not necessarily against Toyota's will, but they haven't been able to get parts there. But Toyota is not the first manufacturer to close down shop. Volkswagen, Nissan are among automakers that have suspended production, furloughed workers, halted imports, leaving a gap in the market for Chinese car companies. So all the European and Japanese car companies pull out, and China sees this as an opportunity to sell their vehicles there. Of course, they have no problems with their best friend, Russia, entering into Ukraine. It doesn't bother them one bit because they see it as a business opportunity, potentially a political opportunity to take more control of Russia and other parts of the world. But anyways, more than 750 companies have announced they are curtailing operations there to some degree. And in May, Renault, which is Nissan's business partner along with Mitsubishi, the alliance. So Renault sold its majority stake in Autovaz, Russia's biggest automaker and the owner of the Lada brand, to a Russian science institute, reportedly for just 1 ruble with a 6-year option to buy it back. Now, Toyota not only is stopping the production of vehicles there since the spring, has also stopped imports into Russia. Far too dangerous, I'm sure. Toyota said on Friday that over the last 6 months, it has kept the factory ready to resume production if circumstances allowed it, but it now sees no indication that it can restart output in the future. That St. Petersburg plant has a capacity of 100,000 units per year, and they send vehicles from that plant from Russia to Belarus, to Kazakhstan, and Armenia. They said if they sell the plant, they're not going to sell rebadged versions of the Camry and the RAV4. Toyota employs over 2,300 people in Russia, about 1,900 work at the St. Petersburg plant, 450 are in Moscow. And the Toyota spokesperson has said 2,000 people will leave Toyota in Russia. That leaves 350 people left, which is probably everyone left in that Moscow area to control the marketing and sales and financing operations, and also to continue to help existing customers in Russia with imports, parts and distribution. In August, Toyota sold 221 vehicles, down 97% versus the same month last year. Of course, that was pre-invasion of Ukraine. Total market fell in Russia for all the automakers 62% to 41,698 units. Last year, Toyota built over 42,000 RAV4s and over 38,000 Camrys in St. Petersburg. And the RAV4 was the 11th best-selling model in Russia last year. The plant began manufacturing December of 2007. And this also coincides with other news coming out from Japan. Japan is banning chemical weapons related goods to Russia, concerned by nuclear threats. So I think this was maybe the government of Japan telling them, companies, you got to get out of Russia. It's not a good place to be right now. And look at Mazda. Mazda in the talks to end Russia production following Toyota exit. Mazda produces vehicles at a joint venture with local car maker Solars in eastern Vladivostok under the so-called knockdown method, in which parts are sent for local assembly. Combined with Solars' share, production of the plant reached roughly 29,000 units in 2021. With manufacturing suspended, Mazda is now considering a full exit, and no decision has been made on ending sales or maintenance. We didn't mention Mitsubishi earlier, but Mitsubishi is also suspending operations at a joint venture factory with Stellantis Europe in the southwestern province of Kaluga. And here's our last bit of political car news. U.S. Vice President Harris vows to work with South Korea on EV dispute. South Korea is pissed off because after the new EV tax credit, the Inflation Reduction Act, all automakers must build their vehicles, their electric vehicles in North America to even be considered for the new tax credit. And during Japanese leader Shinzo Abe's funeral, Harris told South Korean Prime Minister Han Duck-soo Tuesday that she understood his country's concerns about tax incentives for electric vehicles under the law. They pledge to continue to consult as the law is implemented. Knowing the government, they're not going to do anything. They're just say, tough luck. We're talking about it. We're probably not going to do anything to include the Korean automakers to be eligible for this tax credit if those vehicles are built in South Korea. And that will also affect these Japanese automakers as well. Toyota doesn't have any EV manufacturing capacity in North America. The South Korean manufacturers, Hyundai and Kia, are beginning to, and they've dumped billions and billions of dollars in order to begin battery manufacturing as well as EV manufacturing here in the United States. But a big portion of their EVs will still come from Korea. So you're going to have this weird setup where some of the vehicles, like the Genesis vehicle, I think the GV70 will be built here stateside though, but all the other Genesis vehicles are probably going to be built in Korea. They're not going to qualify. Man, a lot of them are going to be more than that EV threshold. I think it's $55,000 for a sedan. So the Genesis vehicles are not going to count anyways. Maybe some of the SUVs because they might be considered a SUV or truck. But on the Ioniq side, on the Kia EV side, none of those are going to qualify for the EV tax credit anytime soon, it doesn't look like. But let's move away from politics. Thank God. Harrier, new setting of plug-in hybrid system equipped. You know, we heard these rumors coming from Japan, I don't know, 6 months ago that the Harrier would be getting a plug-in hybrid. I'm like, it's cool that they'd be doing it, but why would, if you don't know, let's backtrack. The Harrier is the Venza here stateside, and it's kind of like an upscale, nicer version of the RAV4. So that's why it's so easy for them on this K platform to just plug in this plug-in hybrid system into the RX, the NX, the RAV4, and now the Harrier slash Venza. We are not going to see this plug-in hybrid Venza slash Harrier in the United States anytime soon, if at all. Lexus has a much bigger stronghold here in North America where they can sell this plug-in hybrid as a Lexus and make more money on it. Japan is completely different. Lexus isn't that big in Japan, but the Harrier nameplate is, the Crown nameplate is, and that's why you're seeing an entire lineup be built around the Crown. And maybe the United States gets 1 or 2 of those models, where Japan is going to see all 4 of those models. Them giving this plug-in hybrid to the Harrier is just an easy way for them to make more money than the RAV4 Prime in Japan, because I don't think that the NX is going to be selling as well as the Harrier. But then you still have the issue is that Toyota and Panasonic cannot build enough of these 18.1 kilowatt hour battery packs. The demand for the RX and NX plug-in hybrids are immense here in North America. And well, the RX is not even being offered with a plug-in hybrid in North America at launch. So that's a bit unfortunate, because the RX, like, this is the birthplace, North America, of the RX. Like, Lexus's success and best-selling years are thanks to the RX, and we don't get the top spec, or the top, maybe not the top spec, but the top powertrain, in my opinion. It's better than the 500h, the plug-in hybrid. It is the best version, but it is going to be most expensive, the most elusive, because Europe, Asia, and other parts of the world get priority for this plug-in hybrid powertrain over the United States. And I see no point in the Harrier getting this plug-in hybrid here stateside. But hey, at least we have the Harrier here stateside for an option. It's almost like stealth wealth. It's not quite as expensive as a Lexus NX, but my gosh, is it as close to the NX as about possible in terms of luxury? Definitely not sportiness. Definitely not sportiness or overall technology. But man, it's a really, really well-built Toyota, and it's impressive. And I think it also makes the RAV4 look very utilitarian, where the Harrier and the Venza, I need to cut myself off talking about the Harrier. I really love the Harrier slash Venza. I think you guys might be able to hear the birds warning us about the incoming hurricane. Anyways, over at Car Watch, Modelista has a custom body kit, wheels, some accessories for the Harrier slash Venza. Thing looks pretty cool. I mean, the side skirts are so overdone. I don't necessarily mind the rear end, but quad tip exhaust on a Harrier, you're not going to be fooling anyone. And the front end doesn't look bad at first look with this body kit, but this portion right here is way too busy for me. So what do you guys think about the body kit on the Venza slash Harrier? And we're going to finish by talking a little bit about the Lexus IS. Let's convert it to English here real quick. So what we're hearing in this article from carsensor.net, it's plausible. So there's two situations going on. Best Car Web, we're hearing that the next IS is going to be fully battery electric coming in 2025. But we're also hearing that this next IS could be front engine rear wheel drive on a new platform. The current platform is an old platform. It's essentially on the old GS, the 2021 and newer IS. It's a shrunken down Lexus GS, but it's an old platform. And the TNGA-L platform that the LC and the LS is on is too big, too heavy, not performance minded enough. And so performance is the most important thing, not necessarily when it comes to the IS, but it is a small sports sedan that's supposed to go against a 3 Series. But it needs to share this platform with the upcoming Lexus GT3 race car / new sports car LFA-ish successor. It'll be a lot less expensive. It'll have a twin turbo V8, possibly twin turbo V8 plug-in hybrid. It's going to be crazy. And it is going to be a Lexus, not a Toyota. But they can't justify creating this new platform just for that GT3 sports car. They have to put something else on it. So they're talking about this new IS going to this new platform. Who knows when it would be, 2025, but that coincides what we're hearing from other Japanese sources with the battery electric platform. With this front engine rear wheel drive, what kind of engines we would see, I have no idea. Twin turbo V6 would be the only thing that comes to mind, as well as a turbo 4-cylinder. But they have to be hybridized to some degree by 2025, and Lexus will be fully electric by 2030. So it's really hard to figure out what they're going to be doing here with the IS. Now, they're also saying that, hey, it'll be on this new platform that's front engine rear wheel drive, but it can also be converted into a battery electric vehicle. I think that makes sense. They got to have some flexibility with it as they become fully electric by 2030. The most strange thing about this is that they're saying that it's going to be a family of ISs, which is not a surprise because in the battery electric vehicle announcement in December, Akio Toyota stood in front of like 3 ISs, 4 ISs, a sedan, a convertible, which is going to be like the RC or some sort, or the IS convertible returning. I think that makes sense. RC could just be destroyed. IS sedan, IS convertible comes back, IS wagon, then you have IS lifted wagon. And they're saying, well, the IS lifted wagon might compete with the NX, but I don't see that being the case necessarily because the NX is more of a luxury front wheel drive setup, not necessarily performance minded, even though it's way more performance capable than the outgoing Lexus NX with the new all-wheel drive system, the new transmission, the new turbo engine. So they say they're essentially following the strategy that the Crown is taking, as well as the Corolla is taking. So they want to build an IS family with this new platform. But we need some levity after talking about the seriousness of the political landscape with these automakers pulling out of parts of the world, and things is looking grim for many parts of the world, especially if you're in Russia. Car Scoops has this article talking about this squirrel packed in 558 walnuts in the Subaru Forester. So hopefully that brought a smile to your face. Squirrels are such amazing little rodents. My gosh. We don't have that big of squirrels down here in South Florida. Mostly kind of like these little dwarf gray squirrels because it's so hot. But back north in Nebraska, they're essentially like the size of house cats, and they can do amazing things. So anyways, I'm going to end it there. What do you guys think about all the news today? See you in the comments. If you enjoyed today's video, smash the like button, subscribe for more Japanese and Korean auto news updates like this one. Take care of yourselves, stay safe out there, and hopefully things don't get too crazy with this hurricane. Catch you in the next one. Peace out.